But you know what? It stands better than anything.
Yep. G. Twice. 3. The Seagull in A minor. Yep. C. Natasha, you're leading the Billy Friedman Shema. Yep. In C. Yeah. The Taubman. Which key should we do it in? Because we're doing the Mika Moka in D. Okay. Yeah, so there's no Tsu Yisra. I mean, we usually do an F sharp 1. Should we do it in E? Yeah. Yeah, that's Craig Kalman. Yeah. 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 Yep. It's basically that husky vein is row, row, row your boat. Gently down the street, behind Carrie, I haven't seen that in 20 years. Great film. Shall we?
So everyone, stand when you're ready as we go into Matovu, welcoming everyone to our service. I'll do more explanation in a moment, but for now, grab an instrument. You don't have to be under 8 to do that. And let's go into Matovu. We're on page 4. Sit down. A really warm welcome to our family service, which I have set myself the challenge for all of us to make our service as manageable. We've got lots of things in it, but I promise you, Kiddush, our food afterwards, will be ready for us in not so long. So this morning's service is not just a family service, it's a service. Welcome, Hashem Manola, is a service to celebrate Refugee Shabbat. So JCOR, the Jewish Council for Racial Equality, has joined with HIAS, an American organization that particularly is proud of refugee work, to celebrate hear of us in the Jewish community that really know this is an important thing. So what we're going to do is we are offering our blessing over Torah study, but then we're going to start hearing about the work that we do in our community at Finchley Progressive Synagogue around this and why it's important to us. In the B'nai Mitzvah learning class this morning, we learned about Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who when he marched with Dr. Martin Luther King in the civil rights movement, after he'd been on the march to Selma, he said, I felt my legs were praying. And that's what we're being reminded of, that being Jewish is also about having a clear eye on justice, on what matters. And that in itself is an opportunity for prayer. So we're going to say our blessing over Torah study, and then I'm going to call on Tamara first. storytellings within our service, and the first one is from Tamara. So Tamara, I'm going to recommend that you use the microphone here, and then don't worry, there'll be another song soon to shake your instruments.
Good morning, everyone. We have so much work going on in the synagogue right now with refugees, and it's one of the ways that we make the Torah real in our lives and think about that most often repeated commandment to welcome a stranger. And we're definitely doing that here at Finchley Progressive Synagogue. So, for example, there's a group called the Yaran Club for Farsi-speaking women that meets here every Thursday. We have an LGBTQ lunch club, the Rainbow Lunch Club for LGBTQ migrants, that meets here once a month on a Sunday. And we're running something called the Home from Home Club, which is every Tuesday here in the synagogue. We're welcoming residents from the nearest of the Home Office hotels here in Finchley to come and relax and spend time and have some food and some children's activities here with us in the synagogue. And a lot of the work that we're doing as part of our involvement with a group called Barnet Citizens. I can see our Barnet Citizens organizer, Blue, is here this morning. And alongside Barnet Citizens and two big important refugee charities in Finchley, the Persian Advice Bureau and New Citizens Gateway, last spring, we did a listening campaign in the 5 hotels, the Home Office hotels, that house about 1,600 asylum seekers here in Barnet. And we asked hotel residents what it's like living in the hotels and what the issues are that make things difficult for them. And about 100 people told us their stories. And at the end of that campaign in June, we had a big meeting here. We were working with other local faith and education and community groups. We had volunteers, we had asylum seekers from all the hotels, about 150 people. And we asked, what can we do together to make things better here in Barnet? What could we win? What could we fight for? And we agreed that the first thing we'd work on was food. And we're running a big campaign to improve the food in the hotels here. We've been meeting with the council. We've been meeting with their community health team, with the leader of the council, with councillors to try and improve the food. But there was another issue that kept coming up that makes a huge impact every day on the lives of asylum seekers. If you live in a hotel here that gives you your food, then you get £8.86 a week for all your other expenses. So, and for lots of asylum seekers, they need to catch the bus. They need to catch the bus to take kids to school, to go to the doctor, to see their lawyer, to come here, to go to a food bank, to access charities, even just to go to the park or the library. Many of them would love to just go see Big Ben and get to know their city. But it costs £3.50 round trip for a single bus journey. So that's more than a third of the money they get each week. But we can't solve that here in Barnet. But because we're part of Citizens, we can look at solving it across London. So we have a big opportunity this year, because in May of this year, there's going to be an election. And the people of London will choose who their next mayor will be. And in April, we're going to have a big meeting of about 2,000 people with the mayoral candidates. And instead of the mayoral candidates telling us what they'd do if they were mayor of London, we're going to tell them what we want them to do if they're mayor of London, and we're going to ask them to make those commitments. And out of the campaign here in Barnet, we have got London citizens to agree that one of the things we're going to ask for is free bus travel for asylum seekers. But we don't want it to be a surprise. We want the candidates to have a chance to think about it before we ask them and to really be able to look at the issue. So this coming Wednesday morning, there's a meeting of the Transport for London board at the big city hall. And we're going to be going down and having a little rally. And we're going to be presenting a Valentine's card to the Deputy Mayor for Transport, Seb Dance, and asking him for a date. We're asking him to give us a date for a meeting to talk about buses. And there are going to be lots of us down there. It's at 11:30 outside City Hall with our lovely cardboard buses that we've been making in the drop-in here and calling for free bus travel for asylum seekers. So, and all of this is working towards that big meeting we'll have in April the 25th. And I'm sure we'll be talking about that more. And I think lots of us will be there on the 25th to ask Sadiq Khan and the other candidates to make bus travel free for asylum seekers so that his slogan, which is London is for everyone, can be true for the refugees and asylum seekers in our city.
Thank you, Tamara. And then almost perfectly, for prayer on page 6, Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. It's not your responsibility to finish the work, but neither are you free to stop trying. And then just in case we needed a reminder, what day is today? I'm like really looking forward to Ivria. Anyone answer? Yeah, Beatrix? It is Shabbat, so let's sing that it's Shabbat, our day of rest. Excellent. Are we ready? Does everyone feel like they have warmed themselves up we have welcomed each other. I see our very newest member of the community, Sadie, here this morning with her mum and dad and big brother. And so no doubt warming up for her own baby blessing soon. So now when you're ready, let's stand. We've welcomed each other. We've welcomed Shabbat. Let's pray together. We're on the Baruch Hu on page 10.
Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amen
We're going to move straight to the Shema, and I think if we are going to sign the Shema, our watchword of faith, our prayer, if we come onto the bima, we need all of you on the bima to help us as we sing Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. beautiful. Thank you, Ivria. And this next prayer is a reminder not to forget Lamantis Guru. Top of page 13. Go straight to Adonai Safatai. We're on page 16. This is known as our standing prayer, but remembering Rabbi Heschel talking of his feet, his legs praying, we're going to open and close this prayer with a tiny marking of Shabbat, but we're going to hear another story in the middle of it. We're going to hear the story from Leslie and Allah. So delighted to have our good friends Allah and Hashem and Ola with us as part of the Syrian community that settled here, that we were very involved with helping them arrive. But for now, we're on page 16. Let's open our voice, make space for prayer, and Leslie and Allah, let me invite you up.
Adonai,
whichever makes you feel like you're praying more. Leslie and Allah.
So in 2015, the government announced that it would be part of a UN resettlement scheme where it would accept refugees from Syria who were in refugee camps in Lebanon, providing local councils agreed to take in the refugees. Rebecca called a meeting of FPS members, but also members from Finchley Reform Synagogue and other local faith organisations, particularly the Quakers and the local Christian church. And we all agreed that we would start a work to persuade Barnet Council to bring in 50 Syrian refugees. So a group of us contacted local doctors and said, would you be willing to take on more people in your practice? We contacted estate agents to see if housing could be, and private landlords, see if we could find housing. And we contacted schools to see if they would take in children. And we got sufficient support. And on Sukkot of that year, we had a big meeting where we invited the councillors, particularly the leader of the councillor at the time, and we asked him whether they would take in 50 Syrian refugees. In the meantime, of course, lots of background work was being done, lobbying, persuasion by Rebecca with the leader of the council. Anyway, it was wonderful. He agreed. We didn't think he began the meeting thinking he wasn't going to, but he agreed. And then in 2016, the first of 50, what turned out to be 15 families arrived. And we had a big welcome for those who had arrived at Hendon School. And then we held regular coffee mornings here at the synagogue, I think it was twice a month. Well, the volunteers were all from these faith organisations, not just our synagogue. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful event. It was wonderful. We created extremely good relationships with the families. I'm really pleased that Ola and Hashem have joined us today. And I've had some wonderful carpentry work done at my home, as I know Rebecca has through one of the other of these families. We'd have lunches. We went on trips. Ofra and Alison ran English lessons here. We got support from the council where we could pay a childcare worker who worked with the children. It was fantastic. But it came to an end, I suppose, with COVID. But it was wonderful. We all made some great friends, and I'm very proud to have been part of that initiative in the synagogue.
Thank you, Leslie and Allah. So lovely to have you here today.
Thank you all. Good morning. So back to my journey, like the story started in 2011 in Syria, where it was maybe like a dream, but it was like a continuous one and became like a nightmare. After 2 years, it was difficult for anyone to live there in a situation that you are targeted by your name or where are you from or where you were born. I had to flee my country. I went to Jordan in 2013 and I lived there until the end of 2016. I was offered to be relocated here under the resettlement program. And since I arrived, like I found like very warm welcoming from the local community, especially from the Jewish community here, who were pioneer in supporting all the refugees from all the backgrounds. I was unfortunate to have cancer, like to discover that I have cancer a few months later. And I got extra support from the community here, from the synagogue. And I was lucky enough to get help to study at the university and get a degree.
Well, you already had a degree. You changed careers, right?
Yes, I did. My main issue is not being able to meet my parents again. Like my parents were still in Syria, they can't leave the country and I can't go back again. In today's service, this is a family service. I'm so happy to say that last month I was reunited with my family in Jordan, and that fulfilled all my needs. And gave me like more power to continue in my life. So I want to thank Rebecca and all people who supported us in our journeys. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Everyone, get your instruments up. Your legs have prayed, your ears have prayed today, and we go straight to Oseh Shalom, page 21.
Oseh Shalom Livrama, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Bnei Adam. Oseh Shalom Livrama, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Bnei Adam. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
So we now go to Kriyat Torah, or Torah service. Today is a very auspicious day because we get to read the Ten Commandments, Parashat Yitro, one of the few portions in Torah whose name is given from a non-Hebrew, a non-Israelite. The message is strong. Our community should be wide and diverse. So as we stand, any of our very younger members might want to come and help us open the ark and take out the cuddly Torah scrolls so we're on page 22 as we sing Ki Mitzion and stand to open the ark.
Ki Mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki Mitzion tetzei Torah, U'devar Adonai miYerushalayim.
So, are you bringing? Do you want to bring up? Oh, is he asleep again? This is the Torah service that your baby brother likes to sleep through. Any other of our younger members want to come up? We have a few cuddly Torah scrolls to bring out of the ark. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu l'Adonai iti onoramama shomo yachdav. Children in Maya and Hannah's class, come and help. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. Sit down, or if you have never seen inside a Torah scroll, you might want to come now and see inside. You don't have to be a child to do that. So come and see inside the Torah scroll, and we're going to see the 10 commandments here. Just making sure the microphone works. Tell me if I need to do anything, David. Let me just see. Here is Zachary Arlington's name on the Torah scroll binder. But Zachary, this is his safe space synagogue where he always likes to have a snooze, right? Here is Lenny Ella, also Lenny Ella Rebuck, who's here today, also in our Torah scroll. And I think Joel was here too for Natasha's baby service. So all our babies written in to the Torah scroll. Lenny, here you are, in person, as it is. So before I call up our Kabbalat Torah group, some of the group are coming to read, not to read Torah, but to bless the Torah. So here is our 10 commandments. And I'm really reminded that at the beginning of the 2000s, Roy Moore, who was Chief Justice of Alabama State Supreme Court, decided to have a big 10 Commandments statue in the court. What do you think happened in America? Do people like religion to be inside secular institutions? Adults, I see Beverly shaking her head. So we got into big trouble because in America, very clear, church and state separate. And here, we're really aware that there's 10 Commandments, which is at the center of the Judeo-Christian religions, and other religions too have really found that these 10 sayings make sense. B'nai Mitzvah, what did we learn this morning that went beyond what's just in the 10 Commandments? Anyone, adult, parent, or young person? Natasha, what were we looking at? Sorry, I've called on you. What were we looking at? We were looking at the post office scandal, but what were we using? Verses and commandments from Torah or Lana? We were using, and what were they speaking to? Ethical. We were looking at the ethical moral rules of Judaism, which is about how to be a better person. And our task is to try and find that here in the 10 Commandments. So I am so delighted to call up today our Kabbalat Torah group, Ta'amod Ta'amod, Kehilat Kabbalat Torah, or I could say Ya'amod Ya'amod, Shatil ben Orli, V'Zacharia ben Shaul Asher V'Ruchama, Levarech et HaTorah. So that's Shatil and Zach coming to bless Torah as we jump in. Oh, and Sam too. Come, you're here. I think Sam, Shmuel, Ben, Daniel, Valea, maybe. Yeah? Levarech et HaTorah. So, gentlemen. One, two, three.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Ba'ed. And then you again.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Ba'ed.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosei HaTorah.
Amen. So here we are. The Israelites are standing at the foot of Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai that we know is in the Sinai desert in Egypt right now. They know something big is going to happen. And in a way, every synagogue, when they take a Torah scroll out every week, we're trying to recreate that without the sunshine and the heat and the camels. But nonetheless, we are trying to recreate that. And in a sense, the 10 Commandments is all predicated, where have the Israelites come from? Where were they slaves and had to come out? Egypt. Thank you, Beatrix. So they came out of Egypt and now they're ready. And always they have to remember, because they were strangers in Egypt, everything that they do from now on has to be informed by that. So here we are. וידבר אלוהים את כל הדברים האלה לאמור. אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אשר הוצאתיך מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי. לא תעשה לך פסל וכל תמונה אשר בשמיים ממעל, ואשר בארץ מתחת, ואשר במים מתחת לארץ. לא תשתחווה להם ולא תעבדם, כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אל קנה פוקד עוון אבות על בנים ועל שלישים ועל רבעים לשונאי, ועושה חסד לאלפים לאוהבי ושמורי מצוותי. לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא, כי לא ינקה אדוני את אשר יישא את שמו לשווא. זכור את יום השבת, remember to keep Shabbat, here we are, לקודשו 6 ימים תעבוד, ועשית כל מלאכתך ביום השביעי שבת לאדוני אלוהיך. לא תעשה כל מלאכה אתה ובנך וביתך, עבדך ואימתך ובהמתך וגרך אשר בשעריך, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, את הים ואת כל אשר בם. וינח ביום השביעי, על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת וקדשהו. כבד את אביך ואת אמך, למען יאריכון ימיך על האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נתן לך. לא תרצח ולא תנף ולא תגנב ולא תענה ברעך עד שקר. לא תעמוד בית רעך, לא תעמוד אשת רעך ובעבדו ואימתו ושורו וחמורו וכל אשר לרעך. So let me tell us what it says. So God speaks all these words saying, I am the eternal one, your God, that brought you out of the land of, what did Beatrix tell us? Egypt, thank you. Out of the house of slavery. You shall not have for yourself any other gods. You shall not make for yourself any idols of any likeness that is in the sky above, or indeed on earth, or indeed underneath it in the sea. You shall not bow down and worship any other gods. I am the eternal one, your God, and I am a very possessive God, and I am a very possessive God, and anyone who sins and forgets that, I will wreak punishment or remind you of what you've done wrong on all children to the 3rd and 4th generation. But I will do loving kindness to all those who love me forever, anyone who keeps these commandments. You shall not take God's name in vain. You shall not use it for ill, because God will be angry with you if you take God's name in vain. You have to remember Shabbat and keep it holy. You shall make sure that you do all your work in how many days of the week? How many days are we meant to go to work? 6, thank you, Sam. And on the 7th day you shall rest. Why? Why do we rest on the 7th day, Charlie?
Because God made the earth the 6 days, and the 7th day he rested.
And that is exactly what the Torah says. And it says everyone should rest in your household. You, your family, anyone who works for you should have a rest. Your animals should have a rest. And anyone who lives within your community, who is a stranger but is a friend of yours, you should also make sure, if they're part of your wider community, they should have a rest as well. Thank you, Charlie. So that is how you keep Shabbat. Honor your father and your mother. Hands up if you have a parent here today, or who dropped you off. Hands up if you know your parents coming back today. Yeah, we'll let that happen. Okay, so everyone very good at honoring their parents. I see Natasha's smiling here as she sees a parent over there. Everyone good at listening to what your mum and dad say? Yeah, Samuel? Yeah? Okay. I can always rely on him to be honest. And yes, he said yes. Okay, so honor your father and your mother so that you live long on the land. There's a reward for honoring your parents. Note to everyone here. You shall not murder. You shall not be untruthful or unkind to the people that you love. You shall not steal. You shall not gossip and talk about your neighbor. Orlana talked about that really beautifully in the class this morning. You can do real damage when you say bad things about people. You shall not be jealous and want things that belong to your neighbor, from their house to their animals to anything that belongs to them. Blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
I'm going to ask us all to stand. Shmuel is going to raise the Torah, and we're going to offer a special prayer for refugees. Shabbat, thank you, gentlemen. And as a way of really honoring our special guest today and thanking you for the friendship, because for us, it works both ways, that our community is all the richer for being able to help and enable other people to settle here and to share what we have here. Shmuel. Bend your knees. Fantastic. Turn and face the arch. Fantastic. Stay here. Stay here. Brilliant. Wow. Fantastic. Pop it back. While we've got the words of the Ten Commandments ringing in our ears, we are going to offer a special prayer, which I'll read the beginning, and then Sam and Natasha will continue. We are commanded not to worship idols, not to put anything before God. Not the golden calf, not anything that can obscure what we know to be good and true. The idols that can pull us away from our truest selves to be the best we can be. Because idols sometimes can allow us to be afraid and create fantasies about what might happen in the world. These idols have the power to inhibit our ability to imagine a different and better future, to open our hearts to other people, to trust in our own strength and the strength of our community. It is at these moments when we might be afraid and turn to that way of thinking that our practices of rest and reflection, gratitude and generosity, justice and joy can remind us of who we are and re-ground us in the work that we do. So Natasha and Sam.
On this refugee Shabbat, we commit to setting aside our idols. On this refugee Shabbat, we commit to creating a world of justice. On this refugee Shabbat, we commit to creating a world of compassion. On this refugee Shabbat, we commit to creating a world of welcome.
Thank you. So now we prepare to put the scroll away as we sing, It is a Tree of Life. So, no, just reminding us to open the ark and all of you to come up and put the Torah scrolls back in. Yes. As we finish our service and we go to Kaddish. So Kaddish is the prayer that we offer when we are remembering someone, mourning a death, or remembering an anniversary of a death. And I can imagine that all of us here have people that we might be thinking of in this moment. So in our Siddur, it's page 36. So this Shabbat, we think particularly of the death of Giselle Ansel, sister of Raymond Dweck. And we continue to mourn with the Samuel family during the first 30 days, the Shloshim, of the death of Avi. We think also of the anniversaries, the yahrzeits that fall at this time. Anne Ebner, mother of Mark Ebner. Bernard Kempner, father of Jane Greenfield. Brian Joseph, brother of Howard Joseph. George Garai, father of Janine Garai. Harry Roberts, father of Margot Katz. Jean Papworth, mother of Sarah Dibb. Joseph J., father of Barry J. Malcolm Robin, father of Annabelle Robin. Philip Westbury, husband of the late Sadie Westbury. Ralph Harris, brother of Ruth Hoffman. Samuel Wolfe Fredman, father of Graham Fredman, and Jeannie Fredman, mother of Graham Fredman. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and may those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted a little in their loss as we stand together with them and offer the words of the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shamei Rabbah, V'yama divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'hayachon u'v'yomechon, u'v'hayei duchol Beit Yisrael, v'gala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mavorach le'olam ameh amaya. V'yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitaleh v'talal shemei dekudusha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiram v'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'hayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol b'nei adam, v'imru Amen. So let's sit down, and just as Beverly comes up, our chair, for some announcements, just really from me, a really warm welcome. I see Dev's arrived, fantastic, who now works for, no, not for Citizens, for New Citizens Gateway, so using all your strength and experience to work for others who were in the position you were once in. And again, to Hashem and Allah and Ola, and I know that Sarah is on her way but missed the loop bus, so she's not here yet. And Blue, our organizer from Citizens UK, it really brings great honor to us as a community, the work that we do, and to be welcoming you this morning. And we've tried to roll out a particularly delicious kiddush, food after the service. We are ending our service with the song Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, peace yet may come, with the very strong, I think all of us know, that people only leave their homes when they are not safe, where there is an absence of peace and ease. So this song that was written by an Israeli pop artist, sings the words shalom and salam, salam being Arabic for peace also. And I think that we know that balance, that people only take the risk to leave home, to have arduous journeys, to be separated, as Allah said so beautifully, from family, which really causes such loss. People only do that when they are really fleeing from the absence of peace. So get ready to sing, and Ivriya students, please lead everyone else today. Beverly.
Thank you. I'm short, so I'm just going to move that to the side for a minute. Welcome to everybody, all our visitors. I won't go all of your names again, but it's lovely to have you with us today. And to everybody who comes regularly or not so regularly, you're welcome. Feel free to come every week. We're here. Thank you to everybody who took part in the service, our wonderful musicians, Dean and Franklin, Natasha and Sam, and to our tech crew, David at the back and Josie online host at home. To our security people, our welcomers and Kiddush Rota people, everybody who took part in the service, and of course to Rabbi Rebecca. And we will be seeing Rebecca again in a month because she's about to start sabbatical. So we hope she has a wonderful time and doing all the things she's doing. Please don't abandon us. Please keep coming. There are lots and lots of people lined up to carry on the services in the meantime. And every week you will see who's doing what, and all our regular weekly activities will be continuing in one way or another. So there's lots and lots still going on in the synagogue. Talking of which, tomorrow, 8 of us will be going to Westminster Synagogue in the afternoon with our 3 Czech scrolls to take part in the 60th anniversary of the Czech Scroll Trust, and the fact that so many scrolls were saved and brought out of Czechoslovakia to England. And if you would like to watch the ceremony at 2 o'clock, there is a link in the weekly email. You just click on that and you can watch the ceremony. Please don't go up there because the seats are all allocated. All the other weekly activities are listed, and all the links or where they're happening if they're not happening here. Next Saturday morning, we have our breakfast shiur with James Wolfe, who will be talking about how I turned my day job in professional ethics into a legal thriller. So please come along for that. And anything else that's happening is in there. We have the shiur Sing for Israel on the 20th of February. Again here, if you would like to know more details, see the email and talk to Franklin. And yes, tomorrow?
Yeah, just to say, if anyone would like to come with us on Wednesday at 11:30 to present a Valentine's party step dance after the pre-Rabbasta on the refugees, come see the after service.
Talk to tomorrow. And all our Purim and Pesach activities are all listed as well. So please see the weekly email. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Shalom.
Shalom, everyone. Let us go straight